My name's Michael, and I'm here today to help you with anxiety, depression, sadness, and this video, what it's really about is about changing sort of how you're feeling right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a technique for kind of rebuilding, clearing away the clouds. I mean, picture a cloudy day and being able to use this tool to move the clouds and invite the sun in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a process which basically comes together in 3 steps, and at the end of the video I'm going to kind of put it all together, and I'll actually try and pull like a sound bite so that you can download just the sound and listen to it on your phone whenever you need to, and help you to feel better. So what this really is talking about in the first step here is about sort of a sense of general well-being. And the general well-being that we're going to start with comes from kind of looking at external factors that you don't have control over. Now, the external factors that you don't have control over are positive things that we're talking about here. So I want you to sort of like, listen to it in your mind, as if you're saying it to yourself, and decide for yourself whether or not it's true or not. Okay, so we're going to start with the first one. The sun rises each and every day. True? Yeah, I mean, some days might be cloudy, other days might be raining, snowing, whatever your climate is. But, the sun still comes up each and every single day, and we rely on the sun for, heat, energy. The plants rely on it. So, I mean, it's definitely coming up tomorrow, right? The Earth continues to rotate in a perfect orbit, right? Without that perfect orbit, we wouldn't exist, right? And it continues to happen day after day. It doesn't matter what happens in the world, doesn't matter what's happening in your life. These things continue to happen without any effort from us. The trees and plants are producing oxygen, which we breathe, right? So I want you to take a breath right now, just in and out. Where did that oxygen come from? Did you manufacture it? Did the government manufacture it? Did a business come deliver it to your house? No, that's readily available all the time, and the plants are producing that for you. The next thing, oceans are full of life. Now, some of those things you may or may not eat, like seafood and so forth, but the oceans are full of beautiful life. Whales, sea turtles, seahorses, fish, all sorts of wonderful, beautiful animals, and plants, right? So that's going to continue to exist whether or not you do anything today. So I just want you to kind of feel, a little bit of love and appreciation for the ocean, for the water and the rivers, and everything else that there is in life related to water, because those things are continuously available to us. May not be in your backyard. Some people have to go and fetch water, but for most of us, it's readily available, at your sink. The world is full of beauty, life, and love. If you want to take a moment and look at some beautiful pictures, I'll post some here in the video. But I mean, the world is beautiful in its natural state, and it's going to continue to exist whether or not we're here or we modify things. And even human-made things can be very beautiful, buildings, etc., etc. But those things don't require any effort from any of us. So now sort of the next step here is thinking about things in relation to you, your body, and things that you aren't in control of, but will continue to function so long as you're breathing and living, right? So the first thing is, you are here in this world to experience life. Now, true, right? You're here. I mean, life's not always, unicorns and rainbows, but, it's sort of the spice of life. If you were eating a dish, would you want it to be just, flat? No flavor, no spices, nothing. Part of life's experience is about experiencing the spices of life, so there are going to be dark moments which are unpleasant. And there'll be great moments that, make you want to cry because you're overwhelmed with joy. So, and back in terms of, spice, do you like, sweet and salty? Like salted caramel, or, hot and, sweet, or something like that. Yeah, so it's, thinking about those things and understanding that, life is a wonderful, beautiful thing, and it's good overall. And those difficult times, they often are there to teach us lessons. And, life is going to continue, and it's wonderful. Where was I? Yes. The next thing is you woke up this morning. You were breathing. Your blood was pumping through your veins. Your brain was working. Apparently mine's on a little bit of a vacay. And, your organs are functioning. You hopefully can walk, you can see, you can hear, you can think, you can interact with people. The very, very basic functions here of your body. It's continually working. The next one, it's a little bit more esoteric, but it's a good concept, is, whether or not you believe in God, the universe, source, energy, nothing at all. But, you are loved unconditionally by God, source, universe. It's just, in my opinion, that's just how it is. It's just been part of my experience that I've had when I've going through this growth, and it helps me to understand and feel like there's a purpose, and there is a purpose for each and every one of us. And right now you're doing it. You may not realize you're doing it, but you are doing it. Next one, you have the ability to see, hear, watch this video. I'll post a link to another blog post that I wrote basically on this subject, and you can kind of go through more of this. But it's just, you have basic body functions that are working, that are absolutely beautiful, wonderful gifts. And we need to be grateful for these things when we have them. People that are sick, that lose limbs in war or accidents or other things, they don't have some of these basic things that we take for granted. And God bless them, but it's we are very, very fortunate. I have people that I love and I care about. Well, hopefully one of those people are you. And one of the things that is coming up in other videos, it's about self-worth and building a love for self. You are a wonderful, beautiful soul and person, and you deserve to be happy. You deserve joy. You deserve love, and I want you to know that, and I'm happy to share that with you, and I want you to feel better, and I want you to know that things will get better. Things will be okay. Next on the list, I have a place to sleep, food to eat, and clothes. You think about how many people in the world don't have those basic things. Somebody who's homeless, somebody who's feeding 5 kids and has a job that doesn't pay a lot, and they're struggling to pay rent. And some of these things could be you, but even there, you've probably still got a lot of things to be very thankful for. So, take this for granted. You've got, whatever device it is that you're watching or listening to this on, and, be grateful for that. So, the next thing is, as we kind of move on to the third section, this is more about things that you kind of are in control of. Things that I'll just get into it. So we'll start with the first one. So the love that I have for others benefits me and them. So when you're giving love to other people, in whatever form it is, romantic love, platonic love, friendship love, family love, whatever it is, all these beautiful things are love. And they feel great, and they help other people. Now, people are people. They're not necessarily consistent. They get busy in their lives, and they don't necessarily always reciprocate. And there are some pretty angry people out there, and they need love too, and it might be uncomfortable giving them love in whatever way. And I'm not saying go up and hug somebody who's pissed off and wielding a gun. I'm just saying that we can love others even though they might seem sort of unlovable. They actually need love too. But like the love that you do have and the effort that you are putting into this world actually has a positive impact. You are here to help other people. You are here to love other people. You are here to experience this. Okay, so next. I have the choice to feel what I want regardless of circumstances. Now that one's kind of interesting because it poses the question, you know, like something bad happens to me or somebody yells at me and, you know, I'm going to feel angry. I'm going to feel hurt. I'm going to feel upset. And that might be the initial reaction, but as you sort of dig into, you know, the problems themselves, you find that, you know, a lot of the reactions that we have are based on past experiences. And you can develop sort of a control over those things, not necessarily like you're wrestling it down to the ground, but sort of like an understanding and acceptance when you go back and ask the why questions and dig into, you know, your timeline and figure out, you know, why something makes you angry and how it relates to a childhood event or something else. And, you know, it might seem isolated that you're experiencing an emotion at, you know, a given point in time. For example, you're watching this video and you feel kind of sad and blue. Well, it's actually like a multitude of things that have happened over time that has sort of built up to, you know, you feeling what this is. And, you know, it could seem like it's triggered by a specific event, you know, like a breakup or, you know, job loss or something like this, that feels like it has a huge emotional impact. But the reality is that there are a lot of underlying factors which really sort of cumulatively ended up in this, and, you know, that other event is just the straw that broke the camel's back. So you have the choice to, you know, feel what you want. I mean, feeling something is okay, but you have the choice to either respond or react. And when you react, you're sort of feeding a negative energy, and it's really not productive. But when you respond to something, you know, like somebody says something really, really terrible, and you say either out loud or in your head, that's interesting. But if you react, what you're doing is you're accepting the information that's being given to you. You know, like somebody calls you a name, and you're like, I'm not this, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, you're sort of accepting that, you know, their opinion has power over yours. Whereas, you know, when you take the stanza of, you know, that's interesting. That's interesting that they believe that, A, that they can sort of, you know, overpower you. It's interesting that, you know, that they have something in them that's insecure, that you know, forces them to want to sort of overpower other people and not really take ownership for themselves. And, you know, this is sort of the bullying behavior or abuse or something along those lines. You know, so like when you ask those questions and, you know, or just make the statement, that's interesting, it kind of changes the tone of like how your mind either rejects or accepts information. The next thing is you have the choice, or we all have the choice, but I have the choice to do positive things and feel positively. And that's kind of where this video falls into place. And as you sort of repeat this process, either by listening to, you know, the latter stage where I kind of put it all together, or by, you know, the you know, MP3 or whatever that I post in the description below, you'll be able to listen to it and use it as a tool to sort of give you what you need to feel better, right? So you are in control of your emotions. You might still, you will still feel things, but you have the power to choose to react or respond. I have the choice to be happy right now. And again, this falls in line with what we're talking about here now. You have the choice to respond. I mean, this is what this video is about, and it's about using these tools and other ones that you'll find that you can actually be happy. So back to, the metaphor before about, you wake up and it's a cloudy, rainy day. We're talking about like the emotional state. You have the ability to use a tool like this and, kind of help to sort of move the clouds away, invite the sun back in, and understand with a sense of general well-being that, stuff's going to happen, but, at the end, everything's actually going to be okay. And the last one is happiness is my top priority. So often throughout the day we give away our power, and we don't necessarily focus on our happiness. Now it seems like a very selfish act, but think about it in relation to like a relationship that you're in. Whether it's your parent, your child, your brother, your sister, your cousin, a workmate, a spouse, something like this. If you're in an unhappy state, you're continually affecting them, right? You're pushing them away. And by allowing yourself to be happy and to choose to be happy, you might disengage with some things that sort of like, fuel an argument. And they might be disappointed and they might react and get upset. But realistically, at the end of the day, as you sort of improve your happiness level, you're going to feel better, you're going to respond better, and these relationships actually change just because you've changed. I mean, that's sort of the point of all this, is that you change and your world sort of changes with you. Now, it also means that, some people will fall off the mat because they like to feed into that negativity. But, I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, do you really need those negative people? Those drama queens, if you will, male or female, in your life? No, I don't think so, because I think they, continue to bring you down. So, part of this process is bringing it all together. So we're creating the general sense of wellness in our environment, talking about the sun and the earth and all of that sort of stuff. And then we're talking about, our internal things that, like body functions that we are grateful for, and how we pull it all together. We're talking about our internal aspects where we aren't necessarily in control, but we're grateful for those basic body functions and for those basic life functions. And last but not least, we're talking about how we have the power to choose happiness, to choose a life that we want to live, and do so in a positive way. Now, what really sort of instills this is repeating it over and over again, and doing so in an intonation that sort of makes you feel comfortable, relaxed, and a pattern that basically, a rhythm, where you kind of feel the rhythm, you feel the intonation of your voice, you feel good as you sort of build up on these things. Now I'm just going to go through, and I'm going to start going through the list and then building a bit of momentum, and then come back to it and then build more momentum, and then just see, if you close your eyes and just breathe and listen to my voice, see how you feel, okay? The sun will rise each and every day. The earth continues to rotate in perfect orbit. The trees are producing oxygen. The oceans are full of life. The world is full of beauty, life, and love. I exist in this world to experience life. I woke this morning, breathing, my blood still pumping. I am loved by the universe, unconditionally. I have the ability to see, read, and speak. I have people in my life that I love and care about. I have a place to sleep, food to eat, clothing to wear. The love that I have for other benefits me and them. I have the choice to feel what I want to feel, regardless of circumstances or events. I have the choice to focus my energy on positive things. I have the power to influence my life. I have the choice to be happy right now. I have the choice to trust the universe that everything will be okay. My top priority is feeling good each and every day. The sun will rise each and every day. The earth will continue to rotate. The trees are producing oxygen. The oceans are full of life. The world is full of beauty, life, and love. I exist in this world to experience life. I woke this morning breathing, my blood pumping. I am loved by the universe unconditionally. I have the ability to see, to read, to speak. I have people that I love and care about. I have a place to sleep, food to eat, clothing to wear. The love that I have for others benefits them and me. I have the choice to feel what I want to feel, regardless of circumstances or events. I have the choice to focus my energy on positive things. I have the power to influence my life. I have the choice to be happy right now. I have the choice to trust the universe that everything will be okay. My top priority is feeling good. Now, you can open your eyes if you happen to close your eyes, and I hope you enjoyed that. Now, what you can do is, again, you can download the MP3 that I'm going to record and post in the description below. But you could also take these things and rewrite them. Again, you can click the link to kind of read the full post. But you could rebuild this list in a way that's more meaningful to you, because these are things that I wrote that I felt were meaningful to me and helpful in general terms to others as well, which is why I wrote the post into this video. Anyway, so you could rewrite it in a way that you like the wording better, you like some of the objects better, just something that's more appealing to you, because this is really about you. And you could record yourself describing or reading each one of these things as I just read, and build that intonation, build that rhythm, and kind of work with it until you get it basically perfected. And then you're able to listen to your own iteration of this that's perhaps much more deep and meaningful to you. If you really like this one, just go ahead and download the MP3, or come back and watch this video and sort of enjoy what it is that I have to share. And then last but not least, if you like this video or you felt like it was helpful, smash the like button, share it to somebody else that's having a bad day. Put it in your save list so that you can come back to it and it doesn't get sort of lost in the abyss of Google and YouTube and the internet. But I hope that you really enjoyed this and that this was helpful to you, and perhaps you can help some other people. And of course you are going to help other people just by being you and choosing to respond.